Hello everybody, this is Anka of AGblend13 here with the art process for this hand illustrated festive garland I made. Kind of a last minute idea. I had a few cards to send out and I didn't want to use the same designs that I've used for my art cards of years past, and I had this idea of, I can make a garland, make a kind of interactive art piece in a way, or an interactive card, I guess, that you can hang up and enjoy. And that's the idea really blossomed very quickly into this cool project. So what we've got here is an 8.5 by 11 piece of smooth cardstock. I'm using Prismacolor colored pencils for the artwork. And what I did was I very faintly or lightly scribed out a series of triangles. You can see they're interlocking here. And so it's going to be 6 triangles total. And each piece is an individual little pennant that you then string up to make that type of garland. That's like the little flags on a string. Interestingly, I could not find what are these things called. Is flags on a string, garland, pennant, and yet these words all describe lots of other things. If anyone knows the specific word for this, I couldn't find it, so let me know. But here we are. I kind of decided to go with like a who's who of a lot of my signature characters that I've painted on and off throughout the years. So the very first one in the middle there was a wormoid, and he's kind of walking all bent backwards in the form of a candy cane. So we got a peppermint wormoid going. The second piece was a bot, a snow bot this time, made out of snow, and he's got the sticks for arms and holding a little red cardinal. Then we did a cup of cocoa with a super tall tower of whipped cream. The story behind that is kind of the concept has a backstory, or there's a lore where if you add too much whipped cream to your cocoa, or like too much frosting to a cupcake, you make this tower, it will then come to life. And so that's the basis of those characters. So it's a cocoa having a little cocoa. And the piece I just finished was a grumpy pattern cat. So that's a little kitty. Its fur is a red and green plaid, and it's got a big bow with some holly on its head. Very grumpy. So the last two pieces, I had the most difficulty thinking of, who was I going to do next? I had quite a few ideas. I crowdsourced a couple suggestions from Patreon, and that helped. It kind of, got things going. It's like, what would I do? What would I do? And so here we've got an Astro Gal. This is another one of my series where these space girls have very elaborate hairstyles and these helmets that conform to fit the hairstyle. And so I realized, that's perfect for almost a Christmas tree design. And so there she is with her green skin holding her little space kitty. And then the final one is a poinsettia vine, kind of a fantasy poinsettia, with a kitty pillar climbing and looking very, very cute and mysterious. I did play around with sketching kind of a poinsettia girl. I do lots of humanoid flower characters, but I wasn't really happy with any of my designs, and so this was a nice compromise because the poinsettia is a very such an iconic imagery these days. And a lovely little red kitty pillar. And here's the finished page. I love these. And so what I did was took this page exactly as it is, formatted as it is, scanned it, and did some light editing, just like, a couple little smudge marks. Working with the colored pencils on the cardstock, like I could not erase at all. And so I had to be very careful with my lines, but yeah, otherwise it was a pretty neat page. And then quickly print it out and then you cut it out, and by the end you have an awesome garland, which I've created as a printable, so anyone can download it and print it themselves and assemble it at home. And look, there's a little string of minis as well, surprise minis for your pet areas or whatever, the dollhouse, so they don't feel left out. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.